You know, it seems like every time Jeep comes out with a new model, the purists get all worked up and flare up. You know, the transition from the Willys over to the CJ was really pretty smooth, because I think there were so many different iterations of that CJ that it flowed pretty well. But when this YJ came out with square headlights, oh my gosh, I thought we'd never hear the end of it. Look at those fender flares and a chain in the transfer case? No, I don't think so. Well, then came the TJ. Coil springs. I mean, who in their right mind puts coil springs on a Jeep? Jeep should have leaf springs, so that at the end of the hard day on the trail, you can pee blood. A JK. Wow, remember when that one came out? Short bus, soccer mom, mall crawler, we heard it all. 116-inch wheelbase with ABS? It's just not right. Well, now we've got the JL. And this JL has got some capabilities that I think we're going to enjoy. Every time a new Jeep comes out, we grow to enjoy the advantages that that new model provides for us. We're going to find the same thing with this JL, mostly. Here's some FYI numbers. The JL has undergone 3.9 million miles of testing and invested $3.5 billion to expand the Jeep and Ram facility. Yeah, they seem serious. It's almost like they wanted to get it right. There are 5 million 3.6-liter Pentastar motors on the road in various vehicles. It's a stout little motor. The Rubicon comes standard with this great-looking hood and a plethora of standard must-have accessories. 3rd Gen Dana 44 axles, just a bit wider, with 410 gears and electric lockers are standard. And check out this sweet axle disconnect. Hello, 1989. But hey, anything to squeeze another mile or gallon out of the rig. Did you notice that front drive line isn't turning while we're driving down the road? Yeah, that's that new axle disconnect doing its thing. The axle tubes are larger, the knuckles are aluminum and pretty beefy looking. The brakes have been bumped up an inch on both the front and rear diameter of the rotors, and the calipers are now a dual piston on the front and a single on the rear. The track bars and steering linkage are hollow with some interesting looking tie rod ends, again with the weight. They did shave 200 pounds off the JL, so it had to come from somewhere. The whole lose weight thing has improved our lives with aluminum doors. They shaved off 18 pounds on the front doors and 15 on the rear. That's huge when you're lifting that door off. And wait until you feel the door detents actually hold the door open and also prevent that embarrassing JK cowding. The power steering pump is now an electro-hydraulic pump, meaning it's not even driven by the motor. It's a standalone assembly. This should give us full boost even at slow speeds in the parking lot and even on the trail. The jury's still out on real-world abuse, but in theory it sounds pretty good. One thing I really noticed while driving the JL was the positive steering. The steering gear has an aluminum housing, but it has a massive sector shaft holding the pitman arm. That should take care of the sheared shaft horror stories from the JK. The front shocks are now an easy-to-install loop-loop mount with eyelets instead of the stud at the top. We still get the tried and proven Rubicon 241 OR 4-to-1 transfer case, and the drive lines are still using the strong Rezepa-style joints. This new exhaust configuration is a joy to behold. No more crossover pipes slamming into the driveline at full droop on a lifted Jeep. Nicely done. The gas tank skid plate and 24.5-gallon tank are standard. And check out this massive new cross member supporting the T-case. That was a JK weak link. It's great to see these improvements. Speaking of improvements, where's that giant evap canister that was designed to rub on the driveline and smash into rocks? It's just tiny now and completely out of the way. The rest of the evap system is tucked away in behind that right rear fender flare. The rear axle is also a new 3rd Gen Dana 44, but the shocks have been moved outboard and the track bar has been lifted. Another bonus is that the exhaust over the axle has been repositioned to actually clear the track bar at full stuff. So the 6-speed manual is still the standard transmission that's being offered in the JL. But this 850 RE, this is the optional transmission, and it's the only choice offered now. It's an 8-speed, and it's a good choice. First time they eased into the throttle, the JL's response was amazing. We really needed a drag race to verify the performance. With 410 gears in both Jeeps, the Jeep's trans was really the main difference. There's a tiny edge in tire size going to the JL. But the bottom line is that a lower first gear will be a joy both on the trail and off the trail. The first gear isn't the only advantage to the new Trans. No more late shifts, and it really helps fuel economy. Good job, Jeep. On a marathon cross-country drive from Virginia to Salt Lake City, the JL averaged about 16.4 miles to the gallon at 80 miles an hour. The Rubicon hood is classic. It looks great, and the new hood latches combined with the fender vents are there to stop the instant terror that hits as we pass a truck going the opposite direction in a windstorm. The wheelbase on a JL is increased by 2.4 inches on the 4-door and 1.4 on the 2-door. We've all heard that they laid the rock catcher back 7 degrees. Hopefully that will help with our glass budget. We won't spend a bunch of time on the gotta love it new interior. I'm sure you've seen it. But this $1,400 leather package includes the steering wheel and even the shifter. By the way, the steering wheel's heated. And check out that phone holder. The dash is a veritable wonderland of buttons with touchscreen and USB charging ports. And by the way, the 110-volt inverter is now standard. We still have the electronic sway bar disconnect, but with a cool new locker engagement switch. This Rubicon has the optional accessory switch panel, ready for lights or whatever. We could spend an hour on this new 4th Gen Uconnect system. It's available in a 5.7 and 8.4 inch screen. Just know that it's amazing. It'll tie to your phone screen and will track your thieving kids if they rip off your Jeep and exceed the parental established speed limit. This Rubicon also has a blind spot monitoring system. It's that sticky outie on the taillight there. Terraflex has been working on the JL, and we have some great products coming. You're going to love what we're working on, so stay tuned.